Hey everyone, my 10th video in my series, True Truth of Gang Stalking. And as I promised you guys, I'm going to tell you a bit about myself. So I'm going to tell you guys a very important story. And this story is so important. It's what helped me move past the government stage or the neighbors stalking stage or just a bunch of random gang stalkers out in public. So this story is so important. I need you guys to listen to the story completely, to watch this video completely, because like I said before, the best way to move past this gang stalking phenomenon is to learn from other targeted individuals. And the story starts with, the story happened about almost 2 decades ago when I was going to college. I was living in a home with about 12 roommates. So this home had 4 stories. The bottom story, which is lead to the backyard. The second story, is where the garage level is. The third story was where I was living, and then there's the fourth story, and that's the top. And the first floor, there was one person living there. The garage floor, there was 4 people living there. No, 4 people living there. And my floor, there was 4 people living there, and the top floor has 3. So yeah, it was 12. Yeah, that's 12 roommates. I had a roommate he moved in maybe a year after I was living there, and him and we got to hang out a lot, and he was really cool, and we would go out and party all the time, and he would take me out and stuff. We would go out party Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. It was just a lot of fun time, just go clubbing and having people over, meeting his friends. He met my friends, and we just always had something going on at the house. It was a great time. He was a real estate agent. He was selling homes. He's a very intelligent person. And one day, he told me that he was going home back to his parents' house for a few days. And he went back home, and then he came back. He came back for about a day, and then he had to go back home again. And I didn't know what was going on, so I spoke with one of my other roommate, just kind of like casually talking, and then he told me that, oh yeah, the reason he went back was because his dad was missing. So his dad went missing, and he went back home to look for his dad. And a week went by, and he came back, and that's where I found out. They found his dad, or he found his dad. And guess where he found his dad? In his backyard, under the swimming pool cover. His dad's been dead for over a week under the swimming pool cover. And he found his corpse after searching everywhere for about who knows how long. Now, can you imagine how traumatizing that is? Ever since that time, that's when all the strange things started happening. He started to hear things. He started to believe that the other roommates in the home were spying on him. Now, this is way before I even knew I became a targeted individual. So, from my perspective, I thought he needed help. He was going crazy, and I was just thinking, oh, maybe because just found his dad in the pool. That must be crazy. Maybe got him a little, whacked out in the head, or just not the same anymore. And one day, I was playing video games with one of my other roommate, and he was in his room. Out of nowhere, he just rushed out with a baseball bat, and he was staring at the roommate next to me, screaming at him, saying something like, "Oh, what? Why are you talking about me? Why are you talking about me? Well, why are you always spying on me?" His eyes just looked like he's ready to use that baseball bat on him. And we're both like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're like, whoa, calm down. What's going on here? We're both shocked because we had no idea what was happening. He just rushed out of there with a baseball bat. And his eyes were just so much anger. And he kept screaming at my roommate. And then we're just like, no, calm down. No one is spying on you. No, he's not spying on you. I was trying to play the mediator because he was just looking at my other roommate sitting next to me. And this went on for about 10 minutes. And then he was kind of calming down, kind of like had this look like he's starting to realize, whoa, what just happened? Like he just kind of like crossed the line, And that's when another roommate came home. And obviously, like all the commotion, so he joined in on the conversation. And the next thing you know, more roommates came home from work. So all of a sudden, 20 minutes later from when he first rushed out, there was like 8 or 9 roommates standing right there, trying to figure out what's going on. It was like a huge intervention. And then he started breaking down saying, oh, the roommates next to his room were spying on him because there's like a little hole in the wall, and they would peep through this little hole and just look into his room all the time. And now the landlord's back, because the landlord lived on the very top floor. And he was saying, no, why would anyone do that? Because we all just standing there listening to him, and we knew he's kind of losing it. He's crazy right now. He's just losing everything, losing his shit. And so the roommate went upstairs and grabbed the spare key and opened up the room next to his, and went inside and show him the wall and be like, what hole? There's no holes in the wall. And then later on he said, oh, there's a little section on the floor where it could be lifted up, and the roommate living below him could access his room while he's gone. So we went over to the area and looked at the floor, and the floor was just normal floor. There was no secret puzzle. You can kind of move around the pieces, and all of a sudden, boom, this little door like unhatches, and then you can just kind of like climb up. It's nothing like that. It was just a normal floor. And then he was saying, the roommate, I was on my floor, there was 3 girls, and one of the girl on my floor, he was saying, was being pimped out by the landlord, and the customer would sneak in by going up the fire escape from the backyard, climb up 2 stories, and then crawling through the window. And by this point, we're just all looking at each other like, wow, this guy is really just went crazy right now. And the whole time it was like all of us against him, but it was just extremely crazy. And looking into his eyes at the time, he truly believed all those things were happening. And he even believed everyone in the house was just lying to him. So he was believing that the females in the house were all prostitutes, and they're being pimped out by the landlord. And he believed other roommates were talking trash about him. And one time he even showed me a video, because him and I were kind of cool. We party a lot, so he had nothing bad to say about me, but obviously I don't know what he thinks or what he really do believe when it comes to me. Ever since that point, I was just scared to hang out with him because I feel like, whoa, I was having thoughts like, what if this guy just like stabbed me or something, you know? Obviously a negative thought, but at the time I was just only in college. I didn't know much about his stuff. And he showed me a video one time, and it was him talking to my other roommate. And then they were talking for about 15 minutes, and then my other roommate noticed there was a camcorder on the desk. So he looked directly at the camera and said, "Is that a camera?" And it turns out it was a camera, and it was turned on, filming him the whole time. So he showed me this video, and I watched it. And then the key takeaway from that was, once the other roommate realized the camera was on, he walked out of the room about 5 minutes afterwards, you know, just kind of like casually, okay, well, you know, done talking, he just went back to his room. And that's where he asked me to listen carefully. And I was like, okay, I don't hear anything. And he said, how can you not hear that? They're talking shit about me. I was like, what? I don't hear anything. So he made me put on his headphones. So I put on his headphones, and I couldn't hear anything. And he had this smile like, you gotta be joking me, right? They're talking trash. They're talking shit about me. They're talking about me right now in the video. So he put on the headphones, and he's like, oh, I can hear it. Come on, you gotta hear it. I was like, no, I can't hear shit. And about a week after that, that's when he announced the news. Oh, he'll be moving out, because after an incident like that, even the landlord realized he has to move out, and everyone agreed. So he moved out of there a month after that, after the incident. And about a week after that, after he moved out, he called me, and he asked if one of the roommates that lives upstairs was home. And I was like, okay, let me go check. So I went upstairs and checked, and yeah, that roommate was there watching TV. And I was like, oh yeah, he's here. And he didn't believe me. He was like, are you sure? Because I swear the car behind me, I swear he's behind me right now, following me in this van, in a red color van. And I was like, no, that can't be him, because he's upstairs. And he kept saying, he didn't believe me. He just kept asking the same question in a different way, but basically doubting my answer. He's doubting that he's upstairs, and he really do believe this roommate upstairs was following him, literally like 50 miles away. And eventually he got off the phone, and he moved away. And now fast forward to now. A few years ago, that's when I realized, oh, I'm a targeted individual. In the beginning, I forgot about what happened to my ex-roommate. And eventually, a few months into it, I started to think, wait a minute, what's going on with me? It's almost exactly the same as what went on with my ex-roommate. And at the time, I just thought he was crazy, you know, like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. I don't hear anything, and what's going on? And the situation was so similar. I know, that's why I know I'm not crazy. Because what I'm going through, something's happening, but I'm not crazy. So what is it? Now notice this very important piece of information. Thank God I got to experience what happened to my roommate. That gave me a heads up. That literally gave me an advantage over 99% of the other targeted individuals. I was able to directly firsthand experience something like this almost two decades ago. Think about it. How important is that piece of information to be able to experience it myself, and also indirectly experienced it with my ex-roommate. And that's what really helped me move past this whole gang stalking phenomenon and use my resources and energy on other investigation and other experiments to find out exactly what these guys are. If you watch my video, I'm sure you can kind of tell I'm not talking out of my ass. When I say I'm the best, I'm the best. Information are very important when it comes to this, and a little piece of information can turn everything around, connecting the dots, because you have a lot of bits and pieces of information. Sometimes you just needed that one little piece of information to connect the dot and clarify so much. And once you got these two connected, now you can branch off to connect these other dots. You know, these other dots, and next thing you know, you're connecting all these dots, and this whole picture starts to show up. It starts to make sense on all this. And that's why you need to know more information on this whole situation. And the best way to learn about it is from other targeted individuals. But what type of targeted individuals? Because there's a variety of targeted individuals. There are some that are just losing their shit. There's some that are about to go to prison. There's some that are about to get in trouble. There's some that's about to hurt people. And you don't want to listen to those people. There are some that are stuck. They go out and they think everyone is spying on them. That is stuck. They're treading water. It's just, they can keep treading water, but for how long? They're just stuck. And if you like my videos, you need to keep following me, because I'm going to help you find out exactly what they are. The information is so powerful, it's going to change the world. Shimon signing out.